How's it going, people? I want to do a video about the Warframe community and my story about when I came back from closed beta. So let's start off with me getting back from closed beta. Now, it had been almost a year since I'd last played. And I had no clue. The game had changed so much, that I was lost. Now, this is before relics. This is when keys were a thing. The void was where you went to get prime stuff. You know, so for a lot of you guys, you have no idea how crazy it was even beforehand. I didn't know where to get mods. I didn't know nothing. And I had only came back because I seen one of my friends was playing it almost religiously every day for hours and hours. So I was like, hey, I remember playing that, and it seemed like it was cool. It was fun. So I decided, hey, I'll jump in. I'll see what I have laying around, what I've missed. Hopefully I'll catch up and figure out this stuff. And I was coming in with 3 frames. I had, I believe, Excalibur, crappy mag, and I believe it was Banshee. Maybe. I'm unsure. It's so long ago, as you can imagine. This was years ago. And I had absolutely nothing for the important mods. I had no narrow-minded, no blind rage, you know, I'm using vitality and redirection with, like, streamline. I am just as noob gets. And so I get on, I talk to my friend, he's just like, oh, you'll get the hang of it, don't worry. And he's like, how about you join the clan I'm in, they'll help you out, they'll give you tips or whatever. And not within 20 minutes of me rejoining the game and joining his clan, people are like, hey, I got a spare narrow-minded, I got a spare this, that, and the other, here's some prime parts. And it was such an odd moment to feel like you're being flooded with gifts, you know? It's like, what? This isn't Christmas. I think it was in the middle of summer, and it was just so weird to see all these people just suddenly kind of group around you and go, hey, here's stuff, this'll help you get there. Here's some frames, you should really get Loki, he'll be really helpful for these missions and that missions. And ever since that point, everything for me changed in Warframe. Most people, you know, in other games are like, oh, go do this, go do that, and, you know, get back to us when you're max level, yada, yada, yada. But no, not these guys. These guys were like, hey, here's some new frames, here's some new stuff, cook that stuff up, here you go, got me all set up. And then when I, you know, crafting was done, they would help me run missions. You know, we were doing Draco back when Draco was a thing, and we were leveling up all my gear, and they were giving me mods as I found I didn't have them. If they didn't have them, no one had them, they would go, hey, let's go run, you know, the Prime Vaults and the Vaults and all this other stuff. And that's something I don't think you can get in other communities. You know, you go to other games and they say, oh, that's great, new players, yay, I'll see you at max level, we could do raids, or blah, blah, blah. You know, when you get to endgame, then we'll talk. See you then. Or they'll start, like, a new character with you and go through it and just kind of, you know, hem-haw, like, I can't wait till I play my maximum character. But not here. Not in Warframe. It's like everybody suddenly turns around and goes, new player, alright, let's help them. And it's just a weird experience coming from so many other MMOs, because I had played so many before this one, and so many different, you know, RPG-like games where you have a community and you play with a lot of people. Warframe, people just help. And it's hard to really get into it without getting deeper into what I wanted to talk about, is the community. Warframe itself has a strange community where we actually do live by the idea of pay it forward. For every time someone has helped me, I've helped someone. I've helped 10, 20 people. I can't even tell you how many people I have either just messaged them saying, hey, this is how you do this thing that you were asking about, or go to the recruiting chat and go, hey, there's someone saying, hey, can you taxi me to this alert? I don't have the note open. And without even a second thought, I'll be like, hey, throwing an invite, come on, come join me, I'll get you through this. Or and recently, someone was going, hey, we can't seem to beat this Ayatan sculpture parkour thing. Can someone go help them out? And I immediately just unconsciously said, okay, let me do that for you. And, you know, I join, and of course it's an Excalibur and a vault, and they have no clue the map. They have no clue where they're going. And yeah, of course I breeze through the parkour challenge because it's just, for me, as a veteran, a really easy kind of parkour jump here, jump there. But when I finished it for them, they were so thankful that it just, it brings this different mentality to you as a person going, holy crap. Of course for them, this is like, thank you so much. You've just gotten me something that I've been trying at for ages and just couldn't get right because, they haven't mastered the controls. And for me, it was, a minute, 2 minutes, no big deal. And that's the weird thing about the Warframe community is we are willing, in a lot of cases, to put some of our time aside to help other people. Where in other games, in other communities, you can see it. They'll be like, oh, great. Have to let me go help out this person or that person or blah, blah, blah. Great, newbies, ugh. But in Warframe, it's almost like there's an excitement. A new player joins, you see them asking for help, and you're like, yes, I must go help them swiftly now. And I don't know how to explain that feeling that Warframe brings to veteran players when they do help a new player out. And maybe your experiences are different. Maybe sometimes you're like, noobs. But at the same time, I've never found a community that lives by the truest form of pay it forward. For every time someone's helped me, I always try to help someone else. And I feel like everyone in the Warframe community innately does that. I've never seen much of a toxic side. I mean, every so often you get someone who grumbles about, oh, you're playing Limbo. Oh, great, world on fire. Great, now I'm not going to kill anything, and stuff like that. But they're just so minuscule compared to, hi, I'm a new player. I am completely lost. What do I do? And then it's like the floodgates open and the veterans just swarm you, want to greet you, and want to help you. Whereas in other games, most of the time, the quote-unquote noob zones of a map or new player areas are like avoided like the plague. And where Warframe, there's still like, I was playing Earth doing an interception because I needed cryotic and I didn't really care about any of the other loot. I just needed cryotic, and I clicked public. I could have done it solo, I could have did friends only, had some clannies run with me, but I went public. And I had a very enjoyable time playing with new players because they were like, holy cow, look at this guy in his fancy gear. Yeah, and I was playing Ember, so I was torching everything in sight, And yeah, for the new players, probably wasn't the best experience because they were like, dang it, now I can't kill anything. But there was a different mentality at that time. All the players were like, wow, this is awesome. I have help. I have someone who's helping me run through. And they were like, so why am I doing this mission? Because of course they're new and it's the Earth node. And they're like, so what do I get from here? And I'm like, well, you can get Endo, which helps you level up mods. You can get mods, you can get cash, you get cryotic, which you'll need later on. And they're like, whoa, so much information. And we spent probably 20 minutes in that interception because, it's a low-level interception. But they started to see the enemies get tougher and tougher and tougher, and they got excited. They're like, this is cool. I can't believe you're still destroying enemies. You can tell that it was, for them, their first day, because we're talking an Excalibur, and I think it was 2 Excaliburs and a mag, and the mag was unfortunately dropping a lot, but it wasn't the point. It was, these were new players playing with a veteran and still having fun and learning things, and it was also that moment that I realized I'm helping them, and I'm not saying, oh great, they're noobs. I'm not upset that they're there, quote-unquote, leeching. I'm actually glad they are asking me questions, and I'm helping them obtain things, because in Warframe, it doesn't cost you anything but time to help someone else out. And most of the time, you can help someone else out while gaining something you need. Like in this case, I was gaining cryotic. I was gaining the cryotic I needed to craft. I think it was the Pandero at the time. And through just going to public, I helped them obtain something that I knew they would need at some point, while also teaching them things that they didn't know. Like, they asked me, what are good starter mods, because, they relatively had nothing, and I told them, Streamline, you want to get your Vitality and Redirection leveled up, and you'll probably have to go to the vault at some point in time, which I told them it'd take me a little while to explain all the details to that, but I told them the big thing is to go through the star chart, do all the nodes before you worry too much about perfecting the game, because having the map unlocked changes the game for a lot of people. But this isn't a tutorial video. It's about the community. And I don't know how else to really say it, but Warframe changes how you think about player experiences. For a lot of games, you want to run to the end of the road, and then that's when other players will really help you out. That's when you'll start learning. That's when you, quote-unquote, dig in and get to the fun stuff. But in Warframe, it's kind of the opposite for veterans. At least it is for me. You see new players, and you want to go back with them. It's almost like reliving the new days with new players. You see the wonder and that aha moment when they realize how the game works, and when you show them something, they go, wow, suddenly my gun does double the damage, suddenly I can throw fireballs forever. You have those moments, and so I feel like that's what makes Warframe kind of cool, is even veteran players that have been playing since the beginning can latch on to new players, relive that, nostalgia of the new game through other players, help them out while still having just as much fun without it really costing you anything more than time. But that time is irrelevant with how much fun it can be. And I can't think of any other community that does this, where you go backwards in time. You like to rewind the clock with new players, and you try to help new players more than anything. Like, the moment a question comes up somewhere, and I know the answer to it, I want to answer it. I want to help people out. I want to jump on that moment where it's like, I can help you. For some reason, Warframe makes you a better person? I know, it sounds weird, it sounds strange, but it has that effect. You feel like you want to help people. Maybe because you love the game and you want people to feel the same. Maybe it's because someone helped you early on. But just Warframe, I can honestly say, as maybe a better person in games. I'm not going to say out of games, but when I am playing games, in general, I have helped more people in games since playing Warframe than in the past, and it seems to be something I carry from game to game to game, is this mentality of, for every person I help, they'll help another. And I guess the only reason it sticks is because in Warframe, it really did happen. I joined this clan with my friend. They helped me an enormous amount. I remember one of them gave me a buzzkill. And back in the day, you just didn't have that. You know, it came from an event. It wasn't like, oh, Rocketeer's gonna show up. When I came back, it was like someone handed me a golden trophy and said, here, take this. It will help you. And I'm, at that time, realizing that's worth a lot of platinum. And you're just giving it to me? And the reason I remember that is because I did that same thing recently. A new player joined the game and joined the clan that I'm currently in, which is different from the one I was in the past. You know, times change, people move on, and, you know, the droughts and whatnot. But a new player joined this clan. He was relatively new. He was looking to be the truest of space ninjas, trying to get Ash Prime and all that, and I helped him get everything I could. And he's like, oh man, I don't have, I think it was Rage or whatever. And I'm like, how about this? We'll go into the trade room and you just tell me what mods you do and don't have, and I'll just start putting them in. And I filled the trade window with everything and left that last slot open. And then I put in my own buzzkill. Of course, it's not as valuable as it was back then. But it was still 100 plat that I decided, you know what? He doesn't have it. He needs it. Just like I needed it back then. And I have kept the buzzkill that was given to me originally. I would never sell that thing. Because to me, it's a symbol. It's a stupid symbol. It's just a mod in a game. But for me, it was someone going, I don't need the money from this. I don't want to sell this. You need it more because it'll enhance your fun, your gameplay. And I can't say that he was wrong, because I don't care about the slash damage that much. It's the fact that he gave me something of value, but not just in-game monetary value. But the point was, hey, there's more to this game than just collecting items and being the best. And, you know, there's a community behind it that will go, I want you to have fun. How can I help you have fun? And most games are, I need you to be maxed. I need you to do this. They want you to be a utility that they can exploit later on. Where in Warframe, you're going, hey, I want you to have fun. So here's stuff that'll help you have fun, because if you're having fun, I'm having fun. And I don't think you can get that anywhere else. And that's something I really love about Warframe. Now, I've ranted for long enough, and I want to say thank you guys if you've watched all the way to the end here. And if you've got any awesome stories to tell, put them in the comments down below, because I really want to see how many people really have been helped or helped others, and just see the Warframe community really talk about how awesome this community really is, because it's so good. You guys are so great, and I'm glad to have you around. Thank you very much. I will talk to you again soon.